You're really bad at that. Also, you have a rat friend.
I do have a rat friend. I have a note to self.
You do
Have a chat with the rat friend.
Mm-hmm.
Rat
A
friend.
A rat chat, if you will.
Cool.
Ask him if he's got any turtle sons.
Fucking Bo just starts screaming as soon as the ritual spell is done. Where's the booze?
Oh no, Siani's in the other room with the fucking flash. Right, guys, #1 priority, clear this fucking rubble. Right fucking now.
There. Now there's rubble.
Nice.
Let's see. Hang on. Oh god, there is definitely rubble.
So yeah, I'm ready whenever everybody. I am ready when everyone else is.
It's only rubble if it comes from the rubble region of France, else it's just sparkling dirt.
Fuck off.
Fucking sparkling dirt. I'll give you some sparkling dirt.
Suddenly, from the rubble emerges a mimic. Get fucked.
Fucking
Suddenly from the rubble, it's Valheim all over again. It's a golem.
bossing sparkling dirt.
Oh god, I forgot that Rhea took a massive beating. Holy shit.
Hello. Like,
Yes.
Fuck me, right?
Hello.
I can only see half your health bar, but yeah, it's kind of low.
Once again, health check macro.
Big
3, 0, 27. And then we got fucking Vert. It was full hit points.
It's almost like he didn't do anything. What the heck?
Rhea's got 5.
Fucking
Hey,
Jordan
now.
back. Like,
You're an all
That's not very fair. It's not that I didn't do anything, it's that everything I looked at died instantly.
Lead from the rear.
Okay, so we've just
I
had a
had some deaths, including my own.
That's fair. That's like
we had a
a
fucking showdown at high noon.
fucking murder-suicide over here. Showing off.
High Newt.
Okay, so the ceiling has come down from a crazy moonbeam attack in which Siani sacrificed herself to kill the fucking bitch in the other room.
Yep.
A true hero.
Siani sent a wild moonbeam down the hallway. Like, I imagine it's like the Hammer of Dawn, just like evaporating sewer water and kicking up bits of stone and molten earth as it like tracked across the ground towards the wizard, who used her readied action to just like, oh shit, and then fired a fireball down the hall at Siani, and the two like crossed paths midway, and the moonbeam intersected with the wizard and ended her life. And the fireball intersected with the room behind Siani and knocked Siani unconscious and brought the entire ceiling down. So we get this shot of like rumbling in the bathhouse up above, and then like one of the private like bathrooms like collapses into the floor slightly, and everybody just like is like panicking, and somebody comes and like looks in through the doorway and sees just this like pile of rubble that has sunk down below street level, and then just like, what the fuck? And then we cut back to you all.
Oh.
I mean, I'm unconscious, hopefully not inhaling sewer water.
You're not unconscious, you have 1 hit point, I think.
Oh!
No, I double checked. It just
okay.
does say stabilized.
Okay.
So
But
she does have healing potions on her.
Yeah. On you go.
What's that, hun?
does stabilized mean that she still has to roll death saves, though?
No. Being stable means that she no longer has to roll death saves. She is just at 0 hit points and unconscious and will wake up in 1d4 hours.
Ah, okay.
I believe she also said that she had some healing potions on her person in her like bag, and you can like take one of those and feed it to her to like give her some hit points back, which will make her up.
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay, but you have to hold it like a medicine spoon.
I mean, I can just
Right.
Mama Bird it to her.
Yeah, open here comes the
Oh my
airplane.
god!
Yeah. I like where this is going.
It just got real salacious up in here.
Alternatively,
Oh.
why is Bo not pouring his fucking drink down her throat?
Because he's on the other side of the
I'm on the
rubble.
other side.
Alright,
so, yeah,
rubble.
I'm
And he
trying
already
to
used
find
it today. Technically, we haven't had a long rest, and he used it at the Dragon Cult people.
Fair point.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, this has been a long fucking day.
It has been a bad day.
Just wanted a fucking bath, massage. Now I'm up to my fucking tits in sewer water again.
So yeah, so Rhea's going to like reach down and kind of like ruffle your hair, Baw, and just be like, "Oh, it's fine. This is fine."
That's
And-
enough out of you, Meat Shield, and I'm gonna walk over here. and
Well,
sit
no,
down.
as she's like touching your head, she's going to expend some of her lay on hands.
Oh. I feel a bit bad, but still, that's enough out of you, Meat Shield.
Yeah, and she kind of like gives you this look, like, well, meh. And then she'll give you like 10 hit points back.
I was straight up expecting the 1 hit points.
No, she needs you to protect us while
Yeah, I
bad
was gonna
things
say,
happen.
like, I've got to sit up here, and
Yeah.
like, are we gonna take a short rest before we like start doing anything, or we're just gonna?
Well,
I don't even need to
my
get them
assumption
out of
is
there.
that we would be in a panic because we can't hear anything and there's been a cave in.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we definitely had like all of the dust and like debris and rubble or whatever like sweep out through the hallway. And so you're all, not only are you stinky and like covered in sewer water, but you're also covered in a fine layer of like stone dust, like all over you, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And even with your even with your dark vision, like visibility in the tunnel is like currently fairly low, and yeah, the water at your feet is probably quickly turning into like a kind of
Like mud.
slightly sucking mud that also smells of effluvia. And yeah, you know that two of your companions are on the far side of this rubble, or you hope they're on the far side of the rubble and not under it.
Right, well, I guess I'll keep watch up here, because I'm useless trying to fucking dig out rubble. Like,
I am assuming that I, at this point, am some shows.
Say again? I missed part of that.
Oh, sorry. I said I'm assuming that I am, at this point, still unconscious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do assume that Lucina is going to start going through your bag and looking for a healing potion though, so she can roll for the amount of healing and get you up at any point.
No, Mama Bird. No, Mama Bird. That would be the
Yes,
stupidest
Mama
wake up
Bird.
ever.
hey.
Holy shit, that's almost max.
Hey!
The Mama Bird makes the potion more effective.
Yes.
So obviously there's a lot of dust and we're all kind of coughing a little bit and like I'm basically just gonna shout over the rubble, hello, hello.
Hello.
Rat friend pokes his head out of the skull that Vert is carrying and like squeaks.
Yes, I know. I don't know if I can help move the rebel, so I might just start casting Speak with Animals.
Yeah, so the way I envision this working is I have a number in my head of specific like strength athletics checks that need to be succeeded at in order to clear the rubble. And each check takes about 5 minutes. And if you make more than one check in like sequence, like if Ray were to make like one check and then work another check, like he will take a level of exhaustion.
Ah, so we take turns at digging it out then.
Yeah,
Which
basically.
sounds like the
So
better
what
way
I'm
to do it.
hearing is,
So
get your ass over here, Ba.
I mean, like, I'll come over when it's my turn. Somebody needs to keep watch in case we get fucking, like,
I'll do it. I'm not doing anything.
you're gonna fucking go after Ray. Oh, fuck, goddammit, I'm not going back in that shit. Well,
I'm talking to Rat Friend.
I need to just crack an eye open and Gurgle.
You're
Is the
beep
bitch
booping pretty hard.
dead? What the hell? Hang
So
on.
have you got
Hang on.
that fucking voice thing on?
I do.
Just turn it off.
Yes, Dad.
Sassed.
Okay, any better?
Much
Mhm.
better.
So as I was saying, Cyan is going to crack an eye open, groan, and then groggily ask, "Is the bitch dead?"
She did die, right?
Yeah, she's definitely like you can vaguely see like probably her feet sticking out from behind the sarcophagus that she was taking cover behind, and she has not moved in the handful of minutes that you have been here, like
Full
regaining
on
your
Wizard of
senses.
Oz.
I will somberly point down the hallway then and say, "Yes, I'm fairly certain you killed the witch."
remember that scene from The
Followed
Boys
by
where
a
you guys did
pause,
okay?
and then I remember fire and not much else.
Yeah, she threw a fireball towards us, and that kind of knocked you out, and then the rift caved in, and I dove, past it to try and get to you. Otherwise, we'd be separated, and you'd probably die.
A longer pause, followed by, from somebody who's usually pretty mild-mannered, "Fuck."
I concur.
And then, she's going to take Lucina's hand and clasp it in gratitude and say, "I owe you one."
Think nothing of it, but we should probably start digging so that we can get back to everybody else.
Ugh.
Don't worry, I'll make
Yeah.
us all some tea once we're out of here and safe.
Yay!
I think I should be the one making you tea. With that, she's gonna pick herself up and go out of the damn rubble.
Okay, so I'm not making
Oh.
that. Holy shit!
Oh God. Okay,
First
so
roll.
You somehow bring down more rubble.
Okay, so the way I picture this.
take 2 points of damage.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going for.
But no, go on. Do go on.
I was just gonna kind of, like, okay, let's go and crack on, and I'm gonna pull the first rock out, not realizing that there was a bigger rock on top, and the bigger rock falls onto my fingers and crushes them.
Right.
It then falls equally backwards on me, and my hand is just fucking in agony. I'm like,
Yeah, so you mess yourself up with a big rock, you shift a bit more rubble down, and I'm not gonna do the thing where it makes it worse, but you definitely do not make any positive progress as far as you can tell.
Bo's just sitting
And I'm
there
assuming I
back-
can hear yelling from the other side?
You can hear
or
Bo
yelping?
himself laughing.
Yeah, you probably hear the loud sounds, and anything else is fairly muffled, and you also probably hear the sound of rock shifting and some tumbling going on.
So she's gonna yell, "Everyone okay over there?"
I guess I'll go over and help Ray.
I'm too busy rolling around on
And
the
she's
ground.
also going to start digging. Or trying to.
Oh, I'm pissing myself laughing at
Would
you
you
right
maybe
now, like-
not want to shift?
I do have a wild shape. Actually, I have 2 of them. What would be the best thing for digging?
One wonders.
I have a giant badger.
A badger.
I don't know, it's a giant badger.
Brilliant.
No, I was just doing it. It's a badger! A giant badger! Can you see that?
I can.
Okay, I was just making sure I had it set right. If you want to turn into the giant badger.
Okay. You know what? I might as well. It's the only thing I could think of on this list, and that might even have the real ability to dig.
Yeah, I mean, like, just to look at its character sheet real quick, the giant badger does in fact have a 10-foot burrowing speed,
There you go.
which means that you don't even have to make, like, athletics checks in order to, like, dig it out. I'm gonna move you over here, I guess, and I'll replace you with the badger. I think you should have control of it.
Okay. So I'm gonna burrow like a motherfucker.
And so
I'll
yeah,
help
you
I'll help
surge
you.
forward. Yeah, go ahead and make an athletics check, Bosing Ba.
Oh, fuck.
I'll give you advantage because you are technically trying to help Ray.
It's not bad.
All right, you managed to shift some stone. From the far side of the rubble, you start hearing like much more like stone shifting and like more productively. It sounds like, and at this
Yeah.
point, about like I don't know, like 10 minutes has probably passed, and Vert, make me a perception check if you would.
A perception check.
Yes.
Bloop.
So yeah, from down this direction, you hear the sound of what you assume is like a person of some description, like maybe staggering along, like kind of leaning and dragging their shoulder against the stone wall and kind of like groaning in pain and fumbling around in the dark.
This direction?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We still have that guy.
Do any of us down here hear that? Like from there?
Are you
you-
mumbling to yourself or are you speaking out loud? So we can...
No, I'm mumbling to myself.
Okay.
And I presume you go walking down the hallway then.
Yeah. Taking
Yeah.
Rat Friend with me.
Like a minute later or so, this guy comes around the corner.
Hey, it's Slim Jiggy!
And he's just like, oh gosh! What happened? I lost consciousness, and then when I woke up, I was next to an armored man, and everyone was gone. And why is there all of this dust everywhere?
You ask a lot of questions for a man who didn't do anything except faint.
I was unconscious.
There were things. We took care of them. We took care of you.
Oh, good. Things. I dislike things.
Now where's my bell?
Where's my fucking bell?
So if the things have been dealt with, as you say, are we going to be leaving soon? I rather dislike it here.
Perhaps. There's much to explore, you see. Much
Oh.
to learn. And I'm just gonna stroke like the head of the rat like real creepily.
Right, and the rat is just like actually kind of okay with it at this point, because I believe you made a pretty good animal handling roll last time.
Like 21 or something like that.
Yeah, and
Oh, 15.
so this gentleman is just kind of like, you're one of those, I see.
Oh no, that was terrible.
Oh no. Yeah, like you're in the process of like trying to be all intimidating, and like the rat was like digging it for a second, and then like out of nowhere she like bites your finger.
Now.
Yeah, and he makes some sort of like insistent rat noises at you, and Clem is just like, oh yes, adventurers, how could I forget? But yeah, so while this conversation is going on, it takes a much shorter frame of time, and Bo, Ray, you see as like the rubble starts to give way, and a very like low, slightly like halfling at a crawl height tunnel like emerges from the rubble, and a little badger nose like pokes its head out.
I can't see anything except red. I'm still kind of like, ow.
Oh. I'll ask Ray. What the fuck did there's a thing coming back through?
How should I know? I'm in agony. Ugh!
Uh,
I won't be able to play any
We'll
more
pause
fucking instruments again.
and make a audible snort, then
Face.
sneeze violently a couple times.
Face paw.
when I flop
That's
it on
face
those.
palm's not very possible right now.
Right, just paw to snout, just like
Yeah, just gonna bop it on the nose, like not attack, just go like boop. See if it tries
Question
to
is,
bite
what
me.
size is a freaking giant badger anyway?
I mean, you are medium sized. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check that. Yeah,
It is a
you are
medium
a
beast.
medium sized beast, which I believe would make you roughly like at least the size of like a mastiff, probably.
Okay. So I might need to make that tunnel a bit bigger for Lucina.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna stare at them blankly, then turn around and start digging my way back.
Start doing just dig. Yeah.
Oh good, it went away. That's fine.
Oh, good, it went away.
Yeah.
So yeah, this eats up like I don't know, probably another 5 minutes or so of you like very carefully like digging the tunnel out like wider and wider so that Lucina will be able to like seamlessly get through. And like, you know, I don't know if Ray has fully come back to his senses yet or not, but I think Rhea is probably kind of doing that thing where she's like up on her tiptoes, like trying to look past like Bo Singbaw and Ray at the same time and just be like, what's going on? Is a badger digging a tunnel? Is that normal?
Is anything we've seen in here normal? Let's be honest.
What he said.
I'm just. Where did the badger come from?
Where did
So
you
Abby's
come
Abby's
from?
looking to herself.
Why don't you fucking
She's
ask it when it
obviously
comes
not
back?
used to the druid yet.
Right, she's not used to the druid, and like Ray just kind of makes a face, and she's like, "I told you already. I came from Elturel."
Well, I don't think I can communicate with Rhea as I am.
Right. Yeah, but the boys are like asking, "Where did you come from?" Like as a
Oh.
pithy joke,
I was gonna
and she's
say-
taking it seriously,
Hang on.
right?
I'm just gonna turn to her and go, sounds like something a shapeshifter would say. Oh,
you an
right! Oh, now I know. Hey, Paul,
Right.
let's not tell her.
Yeah, give Ray a big wink, like obvious. Ah, yeah, cool. Hush, hush. Mum's
And,
a
and at this point, Rhea has just like given both of you a look, and she's just like, "I miss Lucina. I'm surrounded by idiots." And then she just turns and walks back the other direction down the tunnel, and she's like, "I'm gonna go check on Vert."
Yeah, have fun with that.
Bad idea.
So she comes walking up and sees that you're talking to the merchant, and she's just like, "Oh, he's still alive."
Can I shout down the hall area?
She
Kill
thinks I'm
anyone?
an idiot too.
I don't think she thinks you're an idiot. There's only one idiot here, and it's about half a foot tall and gets stuck
Yeah.
on things and tried to climb a house once, and it was very, very elegant.
Very
Mom
No,
made it later,
this
it
is
was.
just grouchy Badger Sayani thoughts because she was just unconscious. She's probably tired as fuck. She's digging her ass off.
Oh, goodness.
I'll just turn to the badgers and just be like, you can change back and have a good swig if you want now.
She is merely going to make a loud, indignant snuff.
Understood.
But I'm guessing, is the tunnel finished by this
Yeah.
point, or?
After probably about a total of 15 minutes or so, you have created a wide enough tunnel that Lucina will be able to crawl through without issue.
So I will lumber off to go check on Lucina as she's wandered.
Lucina has wandered up into the room, I see.
The room.
Yes, I am saying prayers and looking for anything interesting.
Wait, you're in the room? Oh! Oop.
Hooligan. Okay, let's see here.
Wait, why is there a guy there?
What are you doing?
I thought this was the room.
Where did you go? No, not that room. Oh no, you have seen my deception.
Oh no! You said she was in the room.
No, there is a different room behind the
Oh.
rubble that she was investigating.
Well, in that case, I will pretend that I did not see that, and I'm still
mean-
talking to Slim Jiggy.
I was gonna say perhaps you might have been like investigating around rather than talking to him. I don't
Well,
know.
I'm gonna make my way there anyway.
Making my way.
So, that room that you have entered, Lucina, and now Badger Siani, a murky, foul-smelling water surrounds an open stone sarcophagus resting in the middle of the crypt. Its stone lid is lying broken in 3 pieces under the water to the north of it. Let's see here. The
Oh, great! Sorry.
lid fragments, poking out of the water appear to be depicted in the or carved in the depiction of a likeness of a screaming, axe-wielding barbarian. Inside the sarcophagus are the rotting bones of a mummy that have been reduced to nothing more than black sludge.
So, I just read that, well, I should have known this, but I've did it again. I've shifted it to something that has keen smell.
Yep.
Literally has a skill. So at this point, Sayani is going to shift back to her normal self while gagging.
Yeah, it's not. Oh, that sucks. Smells bad, man.
Because she's done her job, she cannot handle this anymore.
Right. And then yeah, like Flinnis is also laying on the ground or in the water behind the sarcophagus, like probably like partially propped on the broken sarcophagus lid, wearing like the kind of like black, like overwrought, like lacy dress that she was wearing, that she was apparently concealing a swarm of skeletal rats inside of, and looks to have been properly scorched by a moonbeam that has given her otherwise deathly pale skin something of a sunburn. And Lucina, you've been in here just like reciting like prayers for the fallen, I presume.
Yes, prayer for Rat Bitch and also a prayer out of respect for the dude whose sarcophagus got vandalized.
Yeah, and it appears as though if he were buried with any kind of treasures, they must have been extracted in previous times. So yeah, unfortunate for the desecration, but you know, I think somewhere in the back of your mind, you probably sense the approval of your deity for taking the time to say rights for this person, even though you're fairly certain that anybody that's buried in this place is probably evil as fuck.
Full well knowing Lucina's stance on disturbing the dead, before searching, Cyane is going to turn to Lucina and say, "Is it okay if I search them for anything pertinent to our investigation?"
I suppose that would be fair. I mean, you're not doing it to gain personally from the dead, so yeah, okay.
Cool.
Not my style.
Yeah, so you carefully like turn her over so that you can kind of like look through like her belongings. She is carrying a flail, which appears to be made from human skulls on chains that have been plated silver.
Oh boy.
That is metal as fuck.
Yeah.
And she is also carrying what appears to be a dusty book with a black leather cover, which sports a tiny skull-shaped locking mechanism, and she has a key for the lock stuck in her hair as like a hair decoration.
Okay. Well, not much interest in the flail. She's already turning into a walking armory. The book, however, will be taken, and the key.
All right, cool.
Not gonna open it just yet. Gonna wait till we're all back together. Oh, she'll also turn to Lucina and say, "I made a tunnel for you."
Oh, thank you. That's so kind of you.
Very kind.
It's the least I could do.
I'll put the Flennis's book and key in the loot channel, as is appropriate.
Yep.
Otherwise, she doesn't seem to be carrying anything else of interest. There is an empty potion bottle that you see kind of like bobbing in the water nearby, so apparently she must have had a healing potion at some point and drank it and even still wound up in this particular situation. So,
Giant beam of fuck you.
giant beam of death from the sky! So yeah. Oh, go ahead.
That aside, she's going to start back down the hallway through the tunnel.
All right.
By this point, Ray has gotten over his existential crisis of not being able to play instruments anymore. His fingers have gotten back to normal.
They're throbbing, but otherwise okay.
Yeah, essentially.
Vert, can you make me another perception check?
Sure.
At this point, like Rhea has taken over talking to the merchant man, and so he's being less of a distraction.
Oh boy. Better, but still bad.
Not the best, but not the worst either.
It's not like I have a +6 or anything.
Yeah, so you've kind of like poked your head out of this door while in the background you hear like Clem just being like, I don't understand why we can't just leave, and Rhea being like, this is a very important investigation. We're doing it on behalf of the Flaming Fist. And he's like, ugh, the Flaming Fist, not even a real army. And he's just like being this snooty like noble or whatever. But over the sound of them like discussing, you do hear coming from both this direction and this direction, like the light shuffling of feet, as though something were approaching you.
Well, I guess I better go check it out, right, guys? Oh, God! It's such a surprise! Don't keep moving him! I'm gonna shoot him!
Yeah, no, this is definitely the initiative as you come around the door and both like see
Jesus
each other at
Christ.
the same time. Uh,
Fuck you.
this is
Fuck
just
you,
what I've
Samuel
always
Jackson.
wanted.
Oh my God, there's more of them.
There is more of them.
Oh no.
Because there was a huge explosion inside of their temple.
Oh fuck.
Hey, isn't that guy dead?
No, he was unconscious,
was
and
tied
you
up.
left him tied up on an altar by himself.
Oh
So
no.
someone came and woke him up and gave him a healing potion. But you do have the drop on the zombie that is standing in front of you, Vert. What do you do?
I guess there's only one thing to do. Shoot him in the face.
Shoot Marvin in the face.
Shoot him in the face. We are going to, well... that kind of sucks. I wish I could see more, but I can't see more. So,
See more butts.
see more butts. Let's do this.
I mean, that's like both of those are gonna hit.
Okay, so that is 5, 14, 22, 24 damage.
Okay.
Is that
him.
all of us entering initiative?
Oh, wait, hold on.
So at the moment, Vert is the only one who is currently aware of what's happening.
Okay. So
27 damage.
Wait. How would you have Hunter's Mark? Doesn't it take a bonus action to cast that?
Yeah, but is it a bonus action to move it? Because I've had it up the whole time. I've been shooting things.
Okay, I was just gonna say, how long does that last?
An hour, I think.
Okay.
An hour.
Let me double check. Until the spell ends, yada yada yada. If the target drops below 0 hit points, you can use your bonus action on a subsequent turn to mark a new creature. So, do you have your extra attack yet?
No, I used my bonus action this time to fire again, but if I need to do it to do Hunter's Mark, I'll do that.
Yeah. So it would be one or the other. You can either have the Hunter's Mark or you can have like 2 shots with the pistol.
Well, 2 shots does more damage this time. No. Yeah, I'll just not do the Hunter's Mark this time because at the very least, bang bang will definitely alert somebody more than bang, because maybe that's just being creepy and firing off his guns. But bang bang is probably something to be concerned about.
Yeah. So you did what? 20 what?
24.
24. Okay, so that is enough to drop this to 0, which invokes the usual exploding fire zombie clause, which you are just out of its exploding fire zombie range.
Yay!
But this altar isn't. I need to read about that altar real quick. Hang on. I don't know what happens when it's disturbed.
Fuck.
oh no.
Let's see here. This dry, partially collapsed room contains a stone altar with humanoid skulls and bones all piled around it. Yada yada yada. Candles. Candles shed a green light. Real black lighting or black writing on the walls. No, apparently nothing happens if you just blow up the altar. So congratulations, you're fine. So
Yay!
the rest of you hear bang bang and then a really loud explosion, coming from somewhere else in the dungeon. So if you would like to enter initiative, you may
Okay.
do so now.
Right.
But you are surprised, so anybody other than Vert will just like miss their turn this turn until we go back through the order.
So, I was about to ask Ray if he's doing okay, but after hearing the fucking gunshot, she's going to look down the hall and narrow her eyes in that again sort of way.
I'm just gonna
Which point,
jolt up and just be like, oh, for God's sake, I know that sound.
and at this point, I guess I'll just roll initiative because I can't do anything right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
shit.
Okay. And then Lucina, would you like to enter the initiative? Oh wait, no, I got you already. I'm sorry. I'm
A fucking
not
monster,
paying
Marcus.
attention. I am a monster. Okay, so Vert, you acted. Lucina, Bo, Ray, you are all surprised, so your turns will be skipped this rotation.
Yep.
You hear muffled yelling from somewhere nearby, Vert. Siani, Rhea, and then can this guy? Who can this guy see?
Who can it be now?
Portia, apparently.
Oh, no, not 360 feet. 60 feet. Damn it. I'm like turning on his night vision so I can actually. I guess he can't actually see Vert around the corner, so this zombie is instead going to take a firebolt attack at Rhea.
Same, though.
And he is going to miss, but those of you down in that kind of narrow tunnel can probably see like the bright flash of like flame kind of like illuminate up in the direction that you saw Vert and Rhea go.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's
that's
not really any other direction for us to see, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably distressing. And then actually no,
She's giving me sass.
stop back there because he doesn't want to get too close to the zombie that might explode. He doesn't want to get. He should be there then. Okay. So we're back to you, Vert.
Oh boy. Can I see this dude around the corner? I don't think I can.
I think you're getting his vision from Rhea.
Okay. I will pop around the corner. Go. Nope. And I will. Oh wait, you know what? Hold on. No. We're not doing that. We're not gonna waste movement like that. We're going to burn. Yes, we're gonna burn our last spell on Zephyr Strike. I don't know why it's asking me to do that. Don't worry about that because I'm not doing that yet.
Alright.
I am going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And that's the dude I'm interested in. Whoever this, I haven't seen this motherfucker before.
Yeah, he just seems to be like a regular like member of the cult. Like he's dressed in armor and livery that looks kind of familiar, but you've never seen this particular individual before.
Okay. Fuck it, sharpshooter. because that's all Zephyr Strike's good for.
Damn. Let's see here. Yeah, both of those will hit.
It's just the one. It's advantage.
Okay, yeah. So the
Oh. So 26
holy shit.
plus 7 is 33 damage.
Stop. He's already dead.
And then I will just nope away from this motherfucker and come and see if my good buddy Yignath is still tied up. Is he still tied up?
No, you poke your head around the corner and he is definitely upright and has like regained like he's like you never took the great sword away from him. You just took the repeating crossbow, so he has like regained his weaponry and seems to have hit points again. And he kind of like does this like pointing like gesture at you.
Okay. Then in that case, oh no, that's a bonus action. I'll have to do it next turn. I'm done. In that case, oh wait, hold on. 5, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yes, that's right. Okay. That is it.
All right. Lucina, we are back to you. You may act as normal this turn. You have definitely heard flames and explosions coming from elsewhere in the dungeon complex.
So acting as normal, does that mean that my movement is limited or what?
It means that like you can take your move and your action and any bonus actions as normal. Like you're no longer surprised. You know there is a conflict going on. Though you are still in the water, which means that you are still moving through difficult terrain.
Okay, then I am going to dash. Maybe if my token moves. Bo is standing where I can end my movement.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Oh, your turn is next, so once you move, I'll just move my token into your space.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
Speaking
that is it for me.
speaking of pudgy halflings,
Right, so I've seen fire come down that hallway and obviously heard gunshots in the distance. So I guess I'll just run up and ask Rhea what the fuck's going on.
I think from there, yeah, you can definitely see the zombie, like the burning gut like zombie, like standing in the doorway, just like with like fire like coming out of the weird like vents that are built into like the palms in its hands or whatever, right? And Ray is just like, "What do you think?" And she's like pointing at it, and Clem is like rolled himself up into like a fetal position ball and like pushed himself as far into the corner as possible, and he's just like, "I don't want to die like this."
I fucking hate these motherfuckers. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna run up to try and like stop him from coming in here. Or in fact, can I? That'd be 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 65. So I can get to like there. And then I'll just throw a dart at him.
Dart.
Yeah, dart.
I mean, that'll hit. Alright. Cool. He takes an amount of damage that the creature does seem to register. A little, like, a small, like, candle flame probably, like, emerges from the taut, like, zombie skin where the dart, like, embedded itself.
In fact, I used a dash, didn't I? So I wouldn't have been able to attack.
I guess that's true.
Oh well. I guess I'll just run up there and like stand there.
You're meat shielding, then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, Ray.
Okay. So, obviously, seeing everyone running, I'm going to follow suit. So I'm just going to double move.
I think you can get one square past Lucina.
Well, that's water as well.
Yeah.
Shit. 5, 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I get to there, and I can see like hear some noises and explosions down the hall.
Right. Cool. Cool. So our boy is gonna imperiously march down the stairs and just be like, "You fucking interlopers, just coming in here," and he's like muttering to himself as though he were, I don't know, like, who does he think he is, Vert? Does a 19 hit your armor class, Vert?
He's dead.
The answer is yes. I know the answer is yes, but
I'm sorry, I just got called. Can you say that again, please?
Oh, I was just asking if a 19 hit your armor class.
Does a 19 do bear shit in the woods?
Yeah, so take 10 points of
It
damage.
depends if they've gone into the city.
10 points. Oh my god.
Yeah, take 10 points of damage as he smacks you real hard with the greatsword.
Hey, look,
That's-
Vert finally got hit. Hooray!
Hooray!
And you know what? Here's what's important. I'll give you this one as a freebie, right? Multi-attack. This
Oh,
creature
no.
makes one attack with its with its melee weapon, and then can use its voice of command ability. All of its allies are dead or out of its line of sight, so it can't actually use its multi-attack. So lucky you.
Lucky me.
Siani.
Okay. I guess I'm just gonna double move through the water.
I promise that after this, there's not another water level.
And I can move to where Ray is, I think, but I can't move onto his tile, so I'll just move there after he moves.
That's fine. All right, so Miss Mantlemorn is going to step up to a yawn zombie, and she is going to attempt an athletics check instead of attacking. I do not believe the zombie can beat her athletics check on that. He cannot. And so what she's going to do is she's going to shove the zombie into the hallway that direction and then move out to take position to try to keep this fire belching creature away from the civilian that you guys are trying to protect, and she'll put up her shield and kind of get it in the way. And that will be her turn, and the zombie will respond by failing to hit twice with its slam attacks. Just kind of like scrabbling against her shield, unable to do anything. And the fist is dead. So we're back to Vert, and there's a man in your face with a greatsword, and he's doing the same kind of like muttering to himself about interlopers and non-believers, and the sickness must be purged while he's like trying to stab you with this greatsword.
Yes. It must. And I will shift. Because
no.
at least that won't give him advantage on me.
That's fair.
And then I will. Oh god, I really want to do this. How bad does he look? Like, how rough is he looking?
I mean, he's not in good shape. You guys beat the shit out of him previously
Yeah.
as it was, and
Yeah.
like, he only got like a Reggie ass healing potion to get back up.
Yeah.
Oh, he
Okay.
fucked.
I was gonna say, here's what I really want to do. Here's what I really want to do. What I really want to do is strangle him with my thing of human guts I have.
Oh my god!
But I have
Holy
0
shit.
strength. So what I'll do instead is back up so I
Oh.
can see everything. Oh no, I can't do that because I just burned my last spell because I'm a moron. Fuck!
You can back up, but you would take an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that. So we're just gonna shoot him in the fucking face. This is with the pistols. Pistols.
Well, the first one hits.
That's fine because it does. Fucking 5, 7, 18 damage in his kidneys.
He didn't need those anyway.
He's got 2.
Yeah, he's dead now.
Ah!
He's not just unconscious. With that amount of damage compared to the amount of hit points he had left, he is like, this is one of those, like, you basically put both barrels to him and just blap blap, and like the exit wounds in his back are much larger than the entry wounds in his front.
I was hoping to keep him alive. Bad luck, I guess.
He was a psycho motherfucker, man. How have you not noticed this before?
And then I'll just step back here and see what's going on down there.
Lucina, somewhere else in the dungeon, you hear 2 more gunshots, and, like, I don't know, I'm going to assume that the resonant cackling of Vert makes it to you somehow.
Jesus Christ.
Well, on that note, I guess I'm going to double move again. And factoring in the water, I can get to right here. And I can't actually see around the corner to see that zombie, so that's it for me.
Alright, Master Baw.
Master Ball.
I mean, I guess I'll just like jump out and into Rhea's space and I don't know if I don't want to attack him and blow myself up, so I'll probably fucking die.
Probably.
Probably.
Maybe.
Do you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it.
Yeah, you gotta Timora this shit, right?
I've got
that'll
it.
hit. Gotta hope for the best. Alright. 7 damage.
And then with my bonus action, I'll whack him with my fucking big ass mug.
I do believe that will also hit, yes. Alright, and 9. The flowers are still standing,
Oh.
but only just.
Okay.
I'll move back.
And you retreat back.
I'll come back down here like, oh, holy shit, that was close.
Ray, it is your turn.
1, 2. I'm gonna move to here, and excuse me, sorry. One second.
It's alright.
These hiccups. What is with the hiccups today?
He's very funny.
I'm just gonna double move to here.
Okay. And you were out of Bardic Inspirations, I believe.
Correct.
So no bonus actions for you. So back to Siani.
And yes, it is another double move. And I'm gonna stop just behind Lucine. And I'm out of spells, I'm out of everything, so that's it for my turn.
It's bad out here for basically everyone.
Yeah. I'm also, like, still half dead, so
Join the club.
yeah, you and I are not on a great state.
Let's see.
Neither is Rhea.
Yeah, I know.
No,
I feel
Rhea's
bad.
in real bad shape too.
I feel bad for leaving it out there. Not really, but kinda.
Yeah.
Cue cackling noises from Ball.
You're a bad man. Well, at least she has this going for her, right? Like she gets a little
Yeah.
bit of like AC bonus for having that. So she's gonna try to finish this zombie off with her sword. She will hit. Oh, Rhea.
Oh,
Oh
sweetie.
no.
You really didn't want to succeed at this. Okay, so 15 feet.
Oh, fuck.
Well, it flows around corners, so technically it doesn't quite make it to you. Like the wall of fire comes right to the hair on your chinny chin, sir.
Get like that whole cartoon look again with my fucking hair blown back, singed eyebrows.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I stopped where I did.
Yeah.
This will deal an amount of damage. She gets to make a dexterity saving throw. Which she fails even with the bonus.
Oh, fuck.
So she's gonna take 6, which is not as bad as it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
she
don't feel
does. She does come out looking a bit like frizzed out, and there's a like soot on her face, and her like her kind of like tight curly red hair is like a little like burned on the ends. It's a little crispy, and she's just kind of like lets out a cough, and she's just like, I fucking hate these zombies.
fucking same though. I got blown up last time, I think.
I think you did, yeah. But that actually is the last enemy who had come to investigate all of the explosions, at least for the moment. So we find ourselves back in non-initiative based time as the ringing of the explosion kind of like echoing through the tunnels like subsides once again, and somewhere in the distance Vert continues to cackle or something.
Bo resolves to learn fucking sign language because he's got to be deaf by the end of the day.
And yeah, like Clem is just still kind of just like rocking back and forth in the counter or in the corner, just like these adventurers are going to get me killed. These adventurers are going to get me killed. Everywhere I look, there's fire and explosions.
These
Oh.
adventurers are trying to keep you alive. You are in no place to complain.
No, you're right. I'm sorry. I am.
Can I slap him in
Really?
the face and say, "Get a hold of yourself, man"?
Yeah, you give him a good smack across the face. He's just like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry."
Thanks for
A
that,
little
Ray.
bit much, Ray.
It could have been worse.
She'll consider that, then shrug.
It's just like I was kidnapped by a horrible cult that lives in the sewers underneath a bathhouse, and they cut on me and they tortured me, and they were demanding access to my family's finances, and then I think I'm to be rescued, and it turns out that you're just here by happenstance, and then there's all of these explosions. It's been a very bad couple of.
Ah, but you're
If
not
That
you'd
dead
like,
though.
we can
It's
just
something
leave
I
you here.
understand.
Kind of like a goggle eyes at you, and he's just like, "Oh no, 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 no."
Then perhaps show a little bit more gratitude.
Yes, yes, gratitude. I'm sorry. I'll shut up. I'll sit over here in the corner, and I won't touch anything, and I'll just.
You're having a bad day. Me too. She's going to walk away.
Me three.
I guess I'll walk up here.
Bad times had by all.
So what's the plan, guys? Like, are we fucking pressing on today? We're all looking a bit rough.
What?
We need to
We
leave.
are
I
tapped
think we need
out.
to get this guy out, and because like I'm on my last legs for today.
Lucina,
Yes, Spirit?
he died.
Oh. Well, I guess I'll say a prayer for him then.
The fuck she
Who
gives.
drew the tiniest smiley face on the map?
Where?
What?
Like, I just noticed this. I don't remember doing this, so it had to be one of you.
Where
Oh,
is
that
it?
was me.
I don't see a smiley face.
Here, I'll put it in the Marcus posting channel.
Nice.
That was me. I was want to see how long it took you to notice.
I was like, what is that artifact on my screen? uh,
So we're all looking really worse for wear, obviously. Obviously, Siani's had a
Obviously.
bit of a beating. We've had cave-ins, we've had zombies, we've had exploding zombies.
that's true.
Let's just get the fuck out of here. Forget everything else.
A tentagool, if you will.
Don't forget Slim Jim. He's probably better not being at
So
the back.
yeah. Yeah.
We should at least
Slim
get
Jiggy.
this guy out of here.
Yeah. Are you going to so are you just going to head straight out, or are you going to stop and investigate the laboratory that you have
No.
access to?
No.
Before we leave, there is something we should look at first. It seems incredibly relevant. Oh, he destroyed the.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I didn't know that, so I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna show them the remains of the candles and shit. Is the green candle still burning?
No. So
Okay.
when the zombie exploded. So what the rest of you see if you follow Vert into that room is you
Yeah.
see the remains of a stone altar that apparently had many candles like atop it at one point, and one large central like black candle. There's evidence on the walls that the candles were recently lit and were like the smoke that they gave off was kind of like staining the stones. And then like in this back corner against the wall here, what the little bits on the map represent is just piles and piles of like rib bones, human skulls, like femurs, multiple like sets of arm bones and finger bones, just all kind of like chucked into a corner.
I'm going to point at the destroyed altar and go, is this authentic rubble from France then? Is this sparkling dirt?
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
And then yeah, as I said before, there is an inscription on the wall above the altar that is written in Infernal, which I think I told you what it said last time without asking if you can read Infernal. But now that I think about it, Vert can't you?
I can.
Okay, so yes, the inscription on the wall for those that can read Infernal says "Rise and be counted."
Mm.
That's not creepy at all.
I mean, Stranger Things. Rhea has a sword that says our favourite meat shield in Celestial.
She was putting in work today, like, did her job.
So yeah, and that is basically the sum of that room. There is that laboratory that the necromancer and her assistant clearly came out of, and then obviously the lot of you know the way back to the entrance, I would assume.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It so goes against instinct to not finish exploring, but oh
You're
god.
fucked.
You guys are in pretty rough shape.
Is Marcus
We
going to
could
be a generous
always-
DM and let us get out without any problems?
Well, there's nothing between you and the door that leads out of the dungeon, if that is what you wish.
Yet.
Yet.
No, so I guess it sounds like everyone's interested in leaving the dungeon. So I will not belabor the point then. You head back up like the tunnel and then like kind of the spiral staircase, and you come out in that sauna room where you had like found the secret passage that like raises like the pit of like hot rocks in the middle up to reveal the secret passage, and like you are in like the bathhouse once again, right? I will note that like it is probably fairly obvious and conspicuous by its absence that you do not hear the sounds of like people moving about in the water, nor do you hear the sounds of like patrons in the bathhouse at this point.
I'd say we. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
I'll move you back to the Baldur's Gate map while we are not in the dungeon.
I'll speak to the noble and just say, look, go, be free, go back home.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
some
And he
food.
kind of like looks at you and kind of like, you know, he's got this kind of like incredulous look on his face, and he's kind of doing that thing where he's like sort of keeping his arms like close to himself, almost by way of like trying to protect himself, and like a couple things here, right? Like he was stripped to his waist, and like whipped and beaten, and has like kind of like bruises and like cut marks from that weird like black razor blade that you guys found like all over his skin. Some of his wounds are starting to scab up, but otherwise he's in a very like poor predicament. First of all, and then second of all, he's like, well, I thought you wanted a reward.
You owe me a bell.
I don't remember agreeing to a bell, but I'm
One
sure I can find.
Bell.
And he just kind of like shakes his head and continues trying to talk to Ray rather than addressing there directly. And he's like, one would assume that receiving a reward would be contingent on following me home and keeping me safe.
Have you taken a look at us? Have you seen the hell
Yes.
that we have gone through to get you out of that dungeon?
Yes, I'm assuming that you look much like I assume that I look. The difference
Then-
here is that I'm the one with an estate that's full of food and wine and money.
Which is
Enough said.
Sayani
You had
was
to
about
get
to
food and
say.
wine. Like, let's go.
we might as
I'll
well
walk you
see
home.
him through because we started it. We might as well finish it, and I'm sure he can offer us accommodations.
He had me at food and wine. Let's
So
go.
I give a big sigh and a big shrug, and I'm just
And
like,
another bath.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just like, these fucking nobles, seriously? So demanding, but you know what? I'll go along with it. And I just go right up to his face. As long as you get the bell.
What is this about a bell? I don't understand.
Some questions are better left unanswered.
fine. Okay.
Alright. And we need the bell before we leave.
What?
Otherwise,
Here?
he's never gonna shut up about it.
No,
Before you
Before
leave
we
the
leave your
bathhouse?
accommodation.
No.
Oh.
Before we leave your
Oh, well,
estate.
that's fine. I'm sure I can arrange. And he just kind of like turns and starts to walk away. And he's like, "Come on, I'll show you the. Actually, does anyone have a cloak I can borrow? I'm actually quite cold."
I'll hand him my cloak that's covered in shit.
And it's halfling sized.
Yeah.
You know what? I was thinking we could just dress him up like a cultist and march him through Baldur's Gate. We
Oh,
could-
does Rhea still have those robes?
Yeah, I think not even thinking about it, because I don't think anybody told her that dressing up like a cultist was a bad idea. Rhea probably just like promptly offers him the cultist robe.
Look at the robes, look at her, and then just facepalm, and you're like, oh my god.
And she's like, "What? It's a perfectly serviceable robe."
Oh yeah, sure.
Is a garment.
Yeah, and he kind of like takes it and looks at it, and he's like, It's not really my color, but beggars can't be choosers." And he like puts it on and like fixes the clasp, and he's like, "It's a very peculiar looking skull clasp. Where did you get this from?"
Again with the questions.
March,
Oh,
like,
this
no.
guy.
let's go.
You're
The
You're
sooner,
right,
the sooner we get to your estate, the sooner I can relax and play some nice songs to help you get to sleep.
right. So my question then is, are you just going to open the door to the sauna and walk out into the open part of the bathhouse, or are you
Did
going
we
to
not
try
come in?
try to slink through the service tunnels again?
I don't like.
I
With
think
hard luck with
considering
I'll leave
stealthing?
this up to people that are stealthier than me.
I think considering the damage we did downstairs, they might be a little
And everyone's-
preoccupied.
Yeah. And I don't think anyone's gonna ask us questions at this point, I hope.
We might want to do a quick scout and just try to get out without being seen, because there's clearly going to be a big fucking like distraction where that part of the tunnel caved in.
I mean, Sandy wanted to go straight back to the bathhouse area and dunk herself.
Yeah, same kinda.
Armor and all, just straight into the water.
I didn't think of that, but now that you mention it, like fuck it, let's do it.
Well, we are in a bathhouse, and we are pretty smelly.
Right. So you.
That's an understatement.
It sounds like you're just gonna open the door then and just like walk out.
Yeah.
Need a
Lay it on us,
bath,
Marcus.
bud.
Come on.
No, it's so you open the door and like out in the main part of the bathhouse, like when you went into the service tunnels and went down into the dungeon, like there were still like plenty of people that were here that were like availing themselves of the amenities that the bathhouse offers. Now like it is quiet. You don't hear any more of that like magically like piped in like elevator music. You don't see any patrons moving around. Hell, you don't really even see any employees moving around. Like a lot of the lights have been snuffed out because like business isn't open anymore and they're not really necessary. So like it's a bit kind of dark and shadowy, except for like there's sunlight that's clearly coming down from the ceiling through like the vents that are in the roof that let like the excess steam out.
Oh my
But
God.
there is definitely a group of people gathered over by one of the doors that leads into one of the side parts of the bathhouse, who are all like just looking in through the doorway, and like one of them's got like a clipboard and like a quill pen and is taking notes, and
Is he a
another one of them.
dragonborn?
No, these all of these guys are wearing what passes for like fantasy D&D like plumber outfits.
So like Mario.
Yeah, kinda, I guess.
Bo, say it! Bo,
What?
just walk up to him and say it.
See what?
It's a group of plumbers, Bo.
I'm fucking lost.
Jesus Christ. Just walk up to him and go, Shedder's clogged.
Oh yeah. Oh right, yeah.
Jesus
Some
Christ,
shit, man. Right, yeah. I'm gonna saunter over them and like thumb over my shoulder to the toilet and go, by the way, shitter's clogged.
Right. And
And then
so
just go and like face first and just belly flop
just
into the closest
into the
bath.
water.
Yeah.
Right, so you see Bo walk over and go shitter's clogged, and then these three like plumbers, and like all of them are humans, right? Like turn around and like just look at Bo, just like confused as hell for a second, and then watch as he walks over and like clothes all of his clothes on, covered in filth, just jumps into the public bathwater with a loud sploosh. And then like they look up and they see the rest of you, and they're just like, all right, what the fuck's going on? Nobody told us there would still be people in the bathhouse. This was supposed to be cleared out. There's a problem with tectonic activity, and part of the building has collapsed into the sewers. Like, you gotta go.
Insight check. Really? You're gonna come in here after what we saw down there and come at me with tectonic movement? Really?
You can roll it. Yeah, so two of them like are nodding, like the two in the back are like nodding along, right? Like these are apparently like apprentice like members of the guild of like cellarers and sewers, which like they have the little like guild pin like on their uniforms, right? They don't seem to think that anything that their like master is saying is weird. The guy who is carrying the clipboard, who is the one that is currently addressing you, is like giving off some real shady vibes. Like he's very much trying to like rush you out of here and not have anybody ask any questions.
Guns out. I just
Uh,
need to-
I
need
like
to
to
come up with a
roll.
better.
Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
On you go, on you go, on you go.
I was just gonna say, you'll need to come up with a better story than that. We've seen what's down there.
Yeah, and so like the apprentices like put their hands up like immediately, and like the guy in the lead who's got the clipboard kind of like puts one hand up but keeps like the other hand like holding the clipboard because he doesn't want to put it down. He's like, "Oh, hey man, there's no reason to just pull out. There's a funny looking crossbow."
I know Ray was trying to do something, so I'll just turn to him and go, "Tectonics, my ass."
Ian is going to trust.
Hold on.
Aaron's
Ray, I think Ray was
instincts.
doing.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, she's not going to do anything other than she's going to put up her crossbow as well.
I'm gonna take a big sigh and just stand there and just sort of scratch my head like, guys, calm down. Look, we just really need a bath. This tectonic shift splooshed us with all sorts of crap. We are smelly as all hell. We absolutely need this. Can you please let us sit here for a little while longer? And I'll like flip them all a gold piece each. Can I roll persuasion for that?
Sure, yeah. I mean, nothing says you can't attempt it. Yeah, so you kind of like throw the gold pieces at them, and like the two like in the back, like I think all of the coins just kind of like fall at their feet, right? Because like the two in the back are too petrified to move because Siani and Vert both have like ranged weapons trained on them now. And the guy in the front just kind of looks down at the coin and he's like, "Well, I mean, like a gold piece is a little bit less than the going rate for the guild, you understand? But like my boss said that we needed to make sure that nobody was in here in case the rest of the building collapsed. So,
Can I just like quietly turn to Ray and go, "Mr. Ray, this man is fraught with lies."
So I'll take your advice and I'll look at the guy with the clipboard and I'm just gonna just walk up to him and be like, listen, my friend here has an eye for these sort of things. Now, I don't know what's going on in your head of yours, and I understand that you do clearly want to get more money out of us in order to make sure you can definitely do what you're doing. But I'm pretty sure he wants to have some questions with you. And if you don't, I can't be held responsible for what happens.
Yeah, and he kind of like
I rolled a 19 on
leans
intimidation.
past you and kind of like looks over your shoulder and then like looks at you again and then kind of like thinks about it for a minute and he's just like, fuck's sake. Boss told me this was going to be a bad job, but she didn't tell me it was going to be like this. Look, you know what? Kids, you guys go home. Just like come back later. Like nothing's going to happen to you. I'll take the responsibility for it. And then he like looks at you, right? Like, are you going to make a deal out of this or are you going to let my apprentices go?
To who? Me or Veered?
Yeah, like he doesn't say it, but he's looking at you.
Okay.
Like because you're the one talking, so he assumes you're the one in charge.
Yeah. So like, go quick. It's all good. It's all good. We're just gonna have a little chat with your friend here.
Yeah, and like the kids like look at each other and then they kind of like look at Vert and Siani and they both do that like very like sideways like inching towards the door, like never breaking eye contact with either of you, like hands up the entire time. And if neither of you shoots, eventually they do just like get to the door and then immediately just run away. And out in the lobby, you hear that kind of effete dragonborn just being like, "Wait, why are you leaving? The job's not yet."
All he's gonna do is go, I'm not a kid.
So I'm gonna put my arm around our friend here with the clipboard, and I'm just gonna go. Come with us. And I'm gonna plop him down in the pool, exactly where we plopped the manager.
Oh, here we go again.
Can I like get out of the pool and like stand at the side of the door in case anyone else comes in and just like be sitting
Sure.
there?
Yeah, you go to stand by the door. You hear the sound of the Dragonborn out in the lobby just being like, I don't understand. Like, we called the plumbers like we were supposed to, like they told us to, and now they're running away. This is the worst job I've ever had. And he's just like pacing back and forth out in the lobby.
And I'll just go right after you, Veer.
I have no idea what Ray's motioning to, so I'll just walk into the pool, gun trained on the dude.
I assumed
Right.
you were going to have a conversation with him to ask, like.
You might have questions for him.
Oh. I just don't trust what he says. He said
Yeah.
that he came here because of tectonic activity, but we've all seen what's down in the sewers.
Indeed.
So the bigger question would be, what are you really here for?
Yeah, and he's kind of like looking back and forth. Have all of you gotten in the pool at this point? Is this one of those like all of you are kind of like soaking and he's just like there in the midst of all of you, like damp and uncomfortable?
Not yet. She doesn't want to get the bowstring wet on her crossbow.
That's fair.
No, he's sitting down. Like I picture it in my head. He's sitting down on like a small step in the pool, and we're
Okay.
all just sort of around the pool beside him, not actually in.
Okay. Yeah, so he just kind of like he's like, look, I don't know, like what you saw down there. It's like that is none of my business. But the Guild of Cellarers and Sewer Maintenance in the city of Baldur's Gate is frequently called upon for very specific reasons by very specific people to make sure that things that exist beneath the city both don't become a problem for the things on the surface and also don't become widely and publicly known. And this was one of those jobs, okay?
Hun, were you trying to say something?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
You're going to
Wait.
need to be more specific than that.
I was just waiting for a capiche.
Hey, come on! I'm just trying to do a job here.
What do you mean more specific? There's a fucking thing under this bathhouse. I know there's a thing under the bathhouse because, like, I've been told that I'm supposed to come here and make sure that the thing under the bathhouse doesn't become the thing that the bathhouse is currently occupying.
And what
No.
thing do you think is under the bathhouse?
And what people are hiring you to maintain it?
And I'll just like move my arms on his shoulders and just sort of press down a little bit.
Look, I feel like you are missing what I am saying here. I know there is a thing under the bathhouse because that's why I was called. I don't know what the thing is because as soon as I know what the thing is, I wind up in the harbor.
Then who does know?
You said that you were hired by a specific someone to deal with specific things.
Yeah,
That means you know a specific someone.
the Guild of Cellarers and Sewer Maintenance. Like, are you guys not from here? Do you not understand that, like, every thieves guild and mafia organization and, like, half of the legitimate business people, like that motherfucker you got following you around back there who looks like he's about to shit himself. Like, all these people have smuggling tunnels and secret basements and shit. Like, we get paid to keep these things secret and not ask questions.
Do you also get paid to house cultists of the demonic variety? You know
I
that there
mean-
are human sacrifices going down.
Okay,
in your
so, like,
quote
human
unquote.
sacrifice, if that's going on down there, that's illegal. I'm not here for that. Like, you're allowed to worship whoever you want in Baldur's Gate. You're just not supposed to kill people. Like, that's illegal. So, like, if that's going on, I need to report this to my union boss.
So I just walk up to him and I'm like, human sacrifices, human torture, demons, and a whole lot of cult things happen down there. And oh no, now you know. Oh, it's gonna be the harbor for you if you're not careful.
Yeah, I mean,
God
probably.
damn, right?
Like, thanks for making my day worse. Now I'm gonna have to figure out who's gonna take care of my kid after they give me some fucking cement shoes.
I guess the point that I was. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just gonna say, at least you're not covered in shit from the back next to the door.
I was just
But-
trying to get across that if they're the ones that maintain the tunnels, I find it very unlikely that they don't know what's going on in the tunnels. Maybe
I don't-
he doesn't, but somebody he works for knows. You know what I mean?
That's what Cyane was getting at. The specific who
Yeah.
of it. Somebody knows.
Look,
He reports to somebody.
if you want to run this up the chain to like the guild office for you know the guild of cellarers and sewer maintenance is like over in like oh god, what is that district?
The sewer district,
No, it's
Little Whitley.
Sea Tower, right?
yeah, it is actually over in Sea Tower. I mean, he's like, you can go inquire over at Sea Tower. Like, I guess, like, if you really wanted to run it up the chain, and like, I don't know if you have the kind of connections for it or whatever, but like Duchess Thalamra Van Thamper, like, is the current like mistress of cellars and sewers or whatever. Like, her whole platform to get her position on the Council of Four was like urban renewal and making sure all of the shitters work right. But like, I don't know, she's probably just making a bunch of money on the side, letting these cults and shit do whatever the fuck they want. Like, I just get paid.
I just want to turn to the party and go and hold like a length of rope and say, I can run him up if you prefer. Implying that I could hang him from the rafters.
Jesus.
Can we run another insight check to see if he really
Yes,
is telling the truth here?
you absolutely can.
Man, I even have a good bonus on that one.
You're not entirely sure, Siani, but Vert, like, it seems to you that the combination of persuasion and intimidation that Ray put out earlier, like, did legitimately work on this man. Like, he is telling you everything that he knows, or at least he believes he is telling you everything he knows.
Okay. I won't say anything. I'll just put my guns away.
Okay. So after a moment of contemplation, Saina will go, for the sake of the children you mentioned, I would say you leave this place and forget you saw us, and we will not mention you.
Yeah, he kind of makes a face after thinking about it for a second, and he's like,
Make
you
up an
know,
excuse. Say you couldn't access it. You need better equipment. I don't care. I don't know enough.
you, you know what? You're right. You're right. You're right. This is probably much better than the alternative.
Because cement shoes don't sound pleasant.
No, I can't imagine they would be. Probably chafe really bad, and then the sudden lack of oxygen probably also chafes really bad.
To that, she'll just sort of nod, put her crossbow down, and then fucking cannonball into the water.
She moves now.
Yeah, no, I get that. Can I go? And he looks at you, Ray, like specifically because you were the last one, like holding a hand on his shoulder.
Yeah, and I just give him a massive pat on the back. Say, oh, just have a bath with us first. Come on.
What? He
What?
just told me to leave.
Yeah, but if you stay, then at least I can, not feel as bad about intimidating you to tell us everything.
Look,
You can
man,
never really trust a man until you've paid with him, you know. Like,
look, you don't have to feel bad. Like, it's fine. Like, this happens to me all the time. Like, twice a week at least.
Well, if it happens to you all the time, why not make it a good night? Come on, hop in.
Mr. Ray, please. I think we would all
Mr.
like to-
Beard's bathing ritual.
Very well. As you wish.
Yeah, so I think the man just kind of like sits there in the water uncomfortably, just like until you let him go.
The water that's now probably kind of gross.
Definitely gross.
Yeah, no, it's not great. and like eventually like the guy does get up, like whether or not you want him to leave or not, he does just kind of like get up probably like 5 minutes later, and he's just like, look, I'm gonna go, and then he just like walks away, like he doesn't even like fully explain himself. But you do hear, like, as he walks out into the lobby, that Dragonborn just being like, oh my goodness, why are you so damp? And what is that smell? And he's just like, look, there's more, like, sewer problem going on here than I originally imagined. That's why I sent my apprentices out earlier. I thought they were going to come back with tools, but they haven't yet. Look, I'm going to have to go and get some more people to deal with this because that room is rapidly filling up with sewer water and it's not a good scene. And you know what? You should probably just evacuate so that you don't have to smell it, sir. Like, we will take care of everything, I promise. And the Dragonborn is just like, oh my dear, you're probably right. You go, I'll get the keys and I'll lock up behind you. And so, like, a couple minutes after that, like, the Dragonborn is gone and has locked the door, and you are now locked in the bathhouse. But you have the bathhouse all to yourself.
alright, I'm gonna fucking go and, like, wash my clothes and then find a clean bath somewhere to soak in.
Just scrubbing the worst of it off me, then I want to get the hell out of here. I can take another bath at the noble's house.
Right, and I think
What
the
has the
noble
noble
probably...
been doing during all this?
Like, I think what's
Probably
everything...
staying dead silent.
Right, like, you all have, like, chastised him enough that while you were interrogating this, like, sewer worker, I think he probably just, like, slunk off to, like, a hot tub or whatever and just did that thing where he, like, just kind of settled in to like soak his aching bones and was just muttering to himself, "When they're done, they'll come find me, I'm sure."
What's
And so, yeah.
Lucina doing during all this? That's what I want to know. What's Mom doing?
Watching everybody like a hawk.
Trying not to be disappointed.
I totally
Oh.
heard that as washing everybody. I was like,
No, I draw the line at being mama bird to dead people, okay?
What, you don't want to scrub everyone's hair, shampoo them, give them a nice rinse? Make sure we scrub behind our ears.
Good God.
I do want to point out, because I'm sure it will be important, and it hasn't been roleplayed by me very well, but unless someone stops Virt, he's just gonna sit down in the water, guns and all. He
I mean,
doesn't
we've
know.
got no reason to stop you at all.
Yeah, he's got no idea how they work. So, and bows don't need dry powder. You know what I mean?
Right.
Cyan doesn't know a fucking thing about them, so she wouldn't say
Mhm.
anything.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if Bo would know anything about guns. They'd say it to him.
I mean, they're
Are they
they're a
common?
relatively exotic form of
Yeah.
weapon.
Yeah, I wouldn't know shit about them then.
Sweet.
So yeah, you have a chance to kind of like clean yourselves up a little bit and make yourself slightly more presentable, though probably somewhat damp.
This is fine.
A little moist.
Oh
Moist.
God!
Real quick before we leave, do I see any drink lying about? Like, can I myself a drink in here earlier?
I mean, if you want to go rifling through the entire bathhouse, I suppose you could probably figure out where the kitchen is.
You could
Cyan
just.
has that flask.
I know, but it's not the same if it's not. If it's yours.
He wants to steal other people's booze.
I mean, if you could sneak away from Mom, you could just go ransack the changing rooms.
I mean, it's more for just like
There's not really going to be anything there though, because
on the
everyone's been vacated.
Yeah.
Like, I was just looking for like a bottle of fucking booze for the walk up to the nobleman's.
I assume what has happened is once like that room collapsed, they had everybody like evacuate in an orderly fashion, and like the service staff probably took any of the food or like beverage items that they were carrying around back to whatever like pantry or like kitchen area they have like on site. So
Okay.
yeah.
So
Like,
it
if
was
you-
more.
Mhm.
Sorry, I was just gonna say it was more fire drill and less actual fire.
I mean, yeah, like one
One bathroom
assumes
collapsing.
you get the people that like are going to panic out first, which is the people who like are attending the bathhouse but don't work here, and then like the employees kind of like more orderly exited, because like some number of the employees that work here are probably aware of what's going on under the bathhouse, and like you wouldn't really know in what order to sort that problem out. But yeah, it's one of those situations where there's not just like a bunch of shit just like left laying around everywhere.
Can I roll an investigation and just say that?
Yes,
I was doing that when people were fucking.
you
taking
you
a bath or
may
whatever.
you may investigate
Ah,
if you
fuck.
would like.
I found
Yeah,
some
no.
bath water.
You just can't figure out where they took the booze, man. I'm sorry.
Oh man, I'm so sad. It's like, it's just not my day. I've been up to my tits and shit. Like, nearly got blown up by a zombie. Can't find
Cyan
anything.
is gonna lift the flask and wiggle it.
I guess it's just not the same.
It's better than nothing.
Better
Yeah,
than
you're
nothing.
right. Thanks, Yanu.
It's better than bad. It's good.
Yeah.
Hold on, now I gotta do this. Hold on.
So, let's assume now that we're all scrubbed as much as we can be, we should depart.
Oh,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
What?
I just realized I could have used fucking prestidigitation.
Yes, prestidigitation can clean all of your clothing.
Oh well. We're not in the straightest of minds right now.
Man, I can't
Here we go,
believe
here
I
it
didn't
is.
think of that.
You got hit in the head pretty hard earlier. It's fine.
What did we forget? Sorry, I was looking at. I was finding
Prestidigitation
names.
It literally lets me make clothing dirty or clean.
They alright, donuts.
Yeah, aight. It's not the best, but it's aight.
They alright. Yeah.
Yeah, aight.
So are we on the road to the nobleman's then?
Yeah. So you. Well, okay. Who has thieves' tools?
Oh, me.
Okay. So the Dragonborn, when he left, did lock the door behind himself.
Right.
So.
Is there a window we could climb out?
I could blow a hole in the door.
I mean,
Good lord.
with your
Click,
soap
click,
pistols?
click. Well, yeah.
It's fine. Like Bo gets the lock open fairly easily, and you step outside. Like Clem leads you through the city streets, and he leads you up to the gate that leads into Hightown. And the so this is one of those parts about Baldur's Gate that's interesting. When you get to the gates to Hightown, the guards at the gates are different. They are not members of the Flaming Fist. The Noble Quarter actually has its own guards that wear different uniforms and different livery and are not a part of the Flaming Fist, and are just referred to as the right and proper Order of the Watch. And so they all, like, kind of move to stop you as you approach the gates, because you look like a bunch of damp bums being led by a half-naked man in a cloak.
Aren't we, though?
Right. I'm just saying. I'm repeating what you actually look like.
Mhm.
And so the sergeant at the gate kind of like holds up his hand, and he is just like, now hold up. No one who doesn't have a title or is invited by someone with a title is allowed to come and go from Hightown during the ongoing refugee crisis. We can't have outsiders just moving around as they please.
Excuse me, sir. Do you not know who this is? He's kind of a big deal. Like,
I'll walk up
Like
to
for
them
noble.
and just be like, "Honorable sirs, we beseech thee on behalf of whatever that guy's name was,
Clem Jasso.
of
Slim
Clem
Jiggy.
Jazzo, who
Slim
has been
Jiggy,
missing
yeah.
for some time. We found him and are being invited to his abode to give him celebrations on his return."
Yeah, and the nobleman kind of like steps forward and pulls his hood back to like reveal his face. He's like, "Yes, they have the right of it. You should let us through right now. These people are my guests." And the kind of like the members of the watch all kind of like look at each other like, "Is this for real?" And then they like look at the sergeant who's like doing that thing where he's kind of like leaned in and he's got his hands on his chin and he's like really like examining like Clem's face, and he's just like, well, I'll be telling the truth. All right, boys, go at ease, and he's just kind of like, so, you rescued this patriarch, then, is it?
Indeed, we have. Some stuff was we were hired by the Flaming Fist to investigate the ongoings in Lowtown, and we happened upon a kidnapping in which we found our noble lord here.
Yeah, and the member of the watch kind of just like laughs, and he's like, "Hey, you hear that, boys? I guess it's not true what they say. Occasionally, the Flaming Fist can find a hole to shit in."
What? Jesus.
I
It's like
just jest along with them. Ha! Yeah, I'd heard that one before. Ha! Ha!
Yeah, and he's just like, "So, I take it you thoroughly dealt with the kidnappers? It's not going to be a problem anymore?"
I'd say not. Hopefully.
Good. So we don't have to rouse our own forces to go clear it out, then. That's That's excellent. And, Clem is just, like, muttering under his breath about how, like, these watchmen need to be better at their jobs or whatever. And he's like, what was that? He's like, nothing, sir. Nothing. We'll be going if it's fine with you. And he's like, yeah, all right. And he waves you through. And a short time later, you come to, like, a very nice-looking manor house that has its own kind of, like, fence around it that encloses its own, like estate, like a garden or whatever. And he leads you in through the gate and up to the door, where he is promptly greeted by his loyal manservant, who ushers all of you inside. And he grants you, like, access to the house to have, like, a fine dinner, which is prepared according to your requests. And he offers you a room each for the evening, because it is a house large enough to have bedrooms enough for each of you to have your own bedroom.
Fucking nice.
And so you can have your long rest if you would like, and get your hit points back and your spell
Oh, please,
slots.
God, yes.
I would very
Yes.
much like to do that.
And yeah, so you get your chance to rest, you get your hit points and everything back, and then in the morning, like, I don't know, what do people's morning routines look like after a situation like that terrible?
I just lying.
Drinking lots of tea.
I just lying. I don't want to move.
Right.
Still
Business
pass
as
out.
usual. That's just a normal Tuesday.
But for me, it was Tuesday.
Like,
Prayers and rituals to Bashaba. Fire and stuff.
do you go outside to perform the prayers and rituals to Bashaba, or are you doing them in your room?
Oh, room would be funnier, but woods is probably more likely because ranger.
Right. So you go out into the garden, like in the back or whatever, and you found a little place to do your morning devotionals, and like there's probably like a gardener who's standing like 10 feet away from you, like holding a pitchfork and just like
Oh
trying
god,
to
he's
determine
wondering why I'm
whether
setting
he
fire. Sorry.
yeah.
Wonder why I'm setting fire to the rose bushes.
Yeah, and he's just like unwilling to approach you because you're a weird looking adventurer who definitely saved his boss, but at the same time he's probably just thinking that he wants to like stab you with the pitchfork for like destroying some of the plants that he has taken so much of his life to get just right. And for your sake, Lucina, like one of the maids probably like has brought you down to like a little sitting room and has brought you like warm water and like a selection of tea bags, and like has just offered you a nice quiet place to sit and enjoy a cup of tea and a scone.
Delightful. I will take this time to reflect and pray to Kellamvor then as I enjoy my tea and snacks.
Yes. And how about you, Bosing Ba? Are you also just like not going to get out of bed like Ray?
I mean, I'm probably still passed out. I imagine I took full advantage of his offer to, like, have what you want last night, so I probably got drunk and passed out.
Right. Yeah, so I think at some point, probably like closer to brunch time. I don't know, like Siani, what were you doing? I don't think I heard what your morning looked like.
Probably up with the sunrise and out to the nearest meadow to gather a whole bunch of flowers and plants, which she now has tied up into bundles and drying on a windowsill.
Fair enough.
Siani, I may need your help.
With what?
Well, you see, I was doing target practice with the topiary, and I seem to have cut the head off this long-necked horse creature thing. My guns don't work anymore, and I'm not sure why.
Has anything changed since the last time you used them?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so, or you know so?
I don't think so. They were working before we left the bathhouse. Well, they were working before we left the sewers. Now they're not.
Hmm. Those things have a lot of parts that I don't quite understand, but I will examine each part carefully and see if anything has changed.
Do you think the devil may have tricked me?
Now, I may not trust him, but he has, at every turn, at the bare minimum, kept his word.
Hmm. Very well. Anyway, is there anything you can do about this topiary?
I can use mending on it?
Sure.
Or druidcraft.
Yeah, mending or druidcraft. I don't know that if she has druidcraft or not, but mending
I do.
mending I think you could do the thing where you just like have like pick up the giraffe head and kind of like put it like back, and you just kind of like seal it back together like you're using wood glue or whatever, and hope no one notices.
Essentially.
Puts the head on backwards. This is fine.
This is fine. Everything's fine. But yeah, so at some point I think like the service staff does make sure that all of you were awake and gather you together in Klim's office, right? And Mr. Jasso, in his normal like environs, like back in his home, is dressed, you know, as is appropriate for like a noble, like in fine clothing, and he's doing that thing where he's like very dramatically like looking out like the large window with his hands clasped behind his back as you all come in, and he waits until he presumes that everyone has arrived, and he turns to face all of you and he's like, well, now that I'm back in my home and I feel a bit more like a human being than I did previously, I wish to thank you again for rescuing me, even if it wasn't technically your intent. It means a lot to me, of course, given that it is my life that has been saved, but it also means a fair bit to my family. So, I should like to offer you a reward and some modicum of help, if at all possible. He rests his hand on a small wooden box that has been seated on the table or on his desk, and kind of like looks at you specifically, Vert, and he's like, I know at least one of you had a very particular request, so I have seen to that already.
Is
Is
The
it my
bell.
bell?
And he just kind of like motions to it for you to take the box.
I take the box.
And so yeah, you open
The
this
whole
wooden-
box.
Yeah,
No,
like yeah, you pick up the box and you like, I'm assuming you open it, and inside there is like some straw that has been like packed in to keep the thing from like jostling around and making noise, but it's a brass like handbell with like a nice like well stained like wooden handle, and it has been like he clearly called like a metal worker in the middle of the night and paid them extra to like have this made for you because it says a ringing endorsement for my rescuer on it.
Nice.
That's a nice fucking belt.
I love it.
Does it sound pretty? Does it sound as pretty as it looks?
Yeah, it sounds like a nice handbell.
Okay.
It sounds better than the bell that you demanded from that other guy, actually.
Ooh, we're moving up in the world. I will ring it. Incessantly.
Right. So he's just like, so, your friend seems
You know,
happy with his
I'm just
request.
gonna be sitting there
above
groaning
board.
as his bell goes off, like,
above
oh
board.
god, no.
Can we
Sorry.
convince Spirit to to wear the bell as a sort of handicap for his just ridiculous guns.
Oh,
Wait, are you gonna bell me like a cat?
I mean,
clang, 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 clang,
I
clang.
mean,
Didn't want to say it, but now you have. Like,
no,
Oh, it's very funny.
it was a joke. Although I kind of want to now.
I mean, look, we've seen what happens when someone gets in melee with Vert. Vert takes like a third of his hit points in a single greatsword swing. But yeah, so Klim just kind of looks at the rest of you and he's like, if it's gold pieces you desire, I can accommodate, or I mean, if I had known sooner, I might have been able to get custom requests done, like for your friend there. And then I'm assuming like the bell rings again, and he's just like, yes, it's very nice, isn't it?
oh god, no! Make it stop, please.
I just want to go over towards Bo and stop ringing it for a second.
Oh, thank God.
And then ring it.
No, we'll stop.
Oh, thanks you, Vert. You're the best.
So
So,
yes,
what if we Okay, so I'm gonna hand him over Ignat's correspondence,
uh-huh.
and I'm gonna ask him to read it and say, "Who's TK?"
Would this character have any idea of that?
Do you have any? Sorry, let me rephrase that. Would he have any inclination as to who TK might be in this?
Yeah,
missive?
let me read that again. Let's see here. Yeah, he kind of like shakes his head and he's like, I mean, this is gravely concerning. This is definitely something that should be taken up with the Dukes. If this cult that we're dealing with is truly trying to seize power in all of Baldur's Gate, as this missive would indicate, but I just from this could be a set of initials or a code name of some sort. I unfortunately I do not know.
And I'll just mention to him that I just realized that I lay in, and I assume I came downstairs. Sorry, forgot about that part.
Oh yeah, no, he had you all gathered together. Like
Okay,
this
that's fine,
scene
I forgot about
assumes
that.
that everyone is there.
Okay, so I'll go, well, I don't want to ask for money. I know that you know some people. Maybe you might be able to point us in the right direction. Another Duke has already hired us for this, and we want to stop whatever is happening in Baldur's Gate as soon as possible.
I mean, I could see to making some number of introductions. It really depends on whom you wish to speak with and on what matters.
The Countess Thiliwak or whatever it is.
You mean Duchess Thalamra Van Thamper?
Yes.
The guy that or the woman that the guy that you interrogated from the sewer company talked about? I assume is what you mean.
Yes. Veal Thumper.
Veal Lumper.
Veal Humper.
No, Veal
and
Thumper.
Veal Thumper. Okay, just as bad. And he kind of like blanches a little bit, and he's just like, oh, she's a very severe woman with a very busy schedule. I can send a runner, and I can try to see if she's willing to receive visitors. Certainly. I would not expect much. I don't know if you're from here or not, but if you are not, then by reputation, she is a woman who does not suffer fools lightly.
Poor Bo. Have to stay behind.
What?
What?
Sorry.
Just called
Sorry,
all
my
the
ears,
way
my
out.
ears still ringing a little bit. Sorry.
I said, poor Bo, you'll have to stay behind.
I know I heard you, but Bo didn't. Like,
Just like cleaning the wax out of his ears. But surely I can do something more than attempt to make a meeting with a woman who will never actually deign to see you.
And I'll just laugh and go, well, it's your job to make sure she sees us then.
Oh dear. Is there a place where I can correspond with you? This might take a day or two to arrange, you understand, and though I am grateful for everything that you did, I
We can
assume
wait.
you have inn rooms or something elsewhere in the city that you have
Can we
found?
hand
We
him
can
some of
wait
the
here.
fancy paper?
Oh, the crane paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of looks at it and he's like, oh, of course, I know how to use these. I haven't used these since I was a boy. So theatrical. Where did you get these?
Oh, here and there.
We could also just wait here.
yeah, I like it here. They've got lots of drink.
I just want to see the fear in his eyes.
It's not entirely fear. There is actually like a low-key look of disgust that's mingled with the fear, and he's been trying to talk around this suggestion. Again, mostly addressing Ray, because Ray does a lot of the talking, so he assumes that Ray is the one that's in charge.
I'll just sit here and go, well, I'll leave that up to our esteemed mother figure. And I'm just going to go back to my bed because I'm still really tired. Reason being, I need to be RB.
Hoopst, is that? Uh, and Ray is clearly not responding, but he is obviously like indicated that Lucina should be the one to make the decision. So Clem is just kind of looking around, confused. Does anyone else speak up?
I raise my hand and go, actually, I wouldn't mind a set of fresh clothes. These ones are a bit, like, tattered.
Oh, easily done. I'll have my tailor come along in a few minutes.
When Bo raises his hand, I will ring my bell.
Oh, God, no, not again.
Sorry, I missed a few things there. What's going on?
The noble was asking basically like what he could do to repay you, and then Ray asked him if he knew who TK was, and he said he didn't know. And then there's a whole like he's gonna try to get an invitation to speak with Thalamra Vandthamper for you, but he said he's not sure she'd be willing to take the meeting, and even if she is, it might take a couple of days, and so he was kind of expectantly hoping that you would leave, and Vert is kind of expectantly hoping that you all can stay, and Ray has left it in the hands of Lucina or Siani to figure this shit out.
Ray also
We-
went back to bed, like, we just skipped over that part.
Yeah. Oh, right.
We still have
Uh,
rooms in an inn, don't we?
Yeah,
We
we
Yes,
still
you
got-
do have rooms at an inn that you have paid for.
But access to the High Town when and if needed might be useful.
Oh, oh, of course. Give me just a minute. And he goes back behind the desk and he like opens a drawer and he pulls out some paper and like a pen and some ink and starts scribbling away. And one by one he kind of like looks up and he's like, what was your name? And he kind of like he goes one by one through all of you, and then he like because Ray has left the room, he's just kind of like and that other one, what was his name? And he waits for you to respond, and then by the time he's done, he has basically like filled out like a writ of passage that has all of your names on it, and he's like, this, of course, will only be good if you're traveling as a group. But if you present this at the city gates to enter and leave Hightown, they should at my signature allow you to come and go unmolested.
Missed
Fury.
opportunity to write down my name as whatever the
I-
fuck you wanted.
I was trying, but I
George
couldn't.
Michael.
I couldn't. Yeah.
Oh,
I was
sorry.
gonna.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Furious Bandersnatch.
Furious
Yeah,
Bandersnatch.
go that one. That's
Yeah,
fine.
like if anybody gives like fake names, do tell me now.
Oh no, I don't.
No.
I'll
Okay,
give Ray
so
a fake name, but
everybody gets their normal names, and Ray gets Furious Bandersnatch. uh, just a step off of Crash Bandicoot, I guess.
Bosig doesn't want a fake name considering his notoriety.
I mean, that's mostly in Lowtown. I doubt
true.
people up here know me.
And then, aside from that, Zayad is not going to ask for much because she's not really a materialistic person, but a resupply would not go amiss.
How pray tell, what is it you require?
Healing potions.
potions wouldn't work. Yeah.
Ah, yes.
You guys are so in
Yeah,
sync.
Lucina knows what's up.
Yeah, and he kind of like thinks about it. He's like, I do have some connections to and oh god, what is the name of the fucking building? Where is it on the map?
An apothecary?
No. Well, I mean, like he could
Elementals?
probably. Yeah, he's like, I do have some connections to some Gondish clerics at the Hall of Wonders. I'm certain that I could make an introduction for you, and you could go and you could talk to them about whatever it is that you need in terms of potions or scrolls or what have you, adventuring equipment.
Can I pipe up here and go, oh wow, it's so generous of you to give us a line of credit there.
Yes. I'm sure I can pay for some amount of resupply, certainly. Here, how about this? And he just like he reaches into, because he assumed that you were going to extort him
Yeah.
for money.
Yeah.
Like, so he had the money ready already, right? Because
Yeah.
like the Jasso family runs like a multi-city trading company, so like gold is the thing he has.
So he should be pretty. He should be pretty impressed with us not berating him for money. That's
Right.
That's what I call good standing.
And so he pulls out like a box, like another box from inside of his desk, and he just kind of like motions to it, and he's like, yes, I'll write up a missive, and you can take it to the Hall of Wonders, and someone will see to your needs, and you can use this to pay for some small measure of what you might need. And you know, whoever takes the box, if you open it up, it is a small like wooden chest that contains like 500 gold pieces.
Mom.
I guess this is what happens when you ask the druid who doesn't give a fuck about money what's needed.
Right.
But
Oh, go ahead.
either way, she'll just sort of look at the box and then just simply say, "Your generosity is appreciated."
I feel that it is only right that I should be generous when the potential other result was me being
A corpse.
yes, that precisely that.
I have one more request, actually.
I got you the bell already.
It's nothing that I need you to necessarily buy.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna pull my guns out and point them at him.
Oh dear! Please don't. I can get you more gold.
What?
You
No.
don't point them at people.
Well, they don't
Unless
work.
you want to shoot them.
Well, they don't work.
But he doesn't know that.
But that's the point. They don't work. I need to find somewhere to have them examined.
yeah, and he kind of like stammers a little bit, and he's like, you'll have to forgive me. I'm not terribly good or familiar with weapons, though. Uh, Based off of their report and the capabilities that you seemed to demonstrate whilst you were in the dungeon, I imagine that the Hall of Wonders is probably the place you would like to go. They build the most fantastic mechanical constructions there. Surely they'd be able to help you.
I'm just kind of waving them around, like looking at them, just like waving them all over the place. Ah.
Pulp Fiction style.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction style, you know. Because I don't know.
Oh my
Uh,
lord.
Just kind of freaking him out now that I see that he's wary of them. But then I guess I'll put him back in the holsters. And
Yeah.
stuff, and just tell him, "Thank you.
Yes. Very good.
See, that wasn't much at all."
Right, like the man has probably shit himself at this point, but like it wasn't much at all.
Sayani's just going to smile apologetically.
He's like, so, let me, and like without sitting down because he doesn't like he gets another piece of paper out and he fills out another missive, and this one is an introduction at the Hall of Wonders, and he's just like, here, present this at the doors, and I'm sure that one or more of my associates will see to your needs.
Counts of pants shot in Baldur's Gate now too.
Lucina, what were you trying to say? I heard your mic go. Oh, she might have been going to do the dogs.
Oh
Put
my
the
God.
dogs outside.
Fucking ridiculous.
What?
Really quickly, unrelated, Amaya. I'm gonna put this in general, and this made my day. I didn't realize this.
Okay. In.
Heyo. Nice.
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 I peaked.
What is this nonsense? Ha. Nice. So, yeah, he's just like, if there's nothing further, then I'm going to I'm sure you want to get to the Hall of Wonders to see to your weapons and your resupply needs, and
So what's
I'm
for
going.
breakfast?
It's
No.
almost lunchtime.
Oh, fuck. Right. Okay.
Here, you know what? I'll have my chefs make you a picnic. Is that
Yeah,
acceptable?
Yeah, thanks.
Good. You can keep the basket. Just get your friend and please be ready to go soon. I need to. And he's like doing that thing where he's like doing the like pants loaded like shuffle, like trying to get out of the room. Just like, I need chamber pot. And he just like leaves. And the manservant comes in as he leaves, and he's just like, "This way, please."
This way, Mr. Adams.
Poor dude.
Rang, Mr. Adams.
And so he takes you to a sitting room to await. Like, he takes you to a sitting room to wait for Ray to be awakened and the picnic to be prepared. And the manservant actually offers you a small like business card, Boasing Baw, and he explains like somewhat apologetically. He's like, Master's tailor is busy currently, but you can go to this business and they should take care of your clothing needs.
Oh, okay, thank you.
New rags, Mr. Adams.
Yeah, and then he's just like, once your friend has awoken, please leave. The boss is high strung enough as it is.
Yes, you seem
No
very on
problem.
edge for some.
He's like, I can't imagine why. And he just like turns and walks out of the sitting room and leaves you to your own devices.
I'm so sad Ray's not here because I just want to say, perhaps he should try a bath.
Fuck's sake. Oh goodness.
Quick question, Marcus. What's the difference between the Hall of Wonders and the High House of Wonders? Which one did we get a thing to?
The High House of Wonders, they smoke weed.
So technically they are part of the same complex. Let me see if I can find this in the book real quickly. Upper City. So the High House of Wonders is a vast workshop and is the center of Gon's religion in Baldur's Gate. Every day the anvils and work tables that fill the High House of Wonders ring and clamor, yada yada yada. Under the scrutiny of meticulous high artificers, inventors work alongside priests and acolytes beside masters of all disciplines. Because the creations in these workshops are largely experimental prototypes, they are not deemed fit for public view. So it's basically like the ridiculous.
Okay, so like the High House of Wonders is like the production line, and the Hall of Wonders is like the gift shop.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the one is like the lab where they do all the work, and the other one is like public facing temple and museum,
Mm-hmm.
which is full of all kinds of like crazy stuff that the Gondish like priests and artificers have built. So like it's a very like rad like place to visit, but it's mostly for like temple work. Like the thing that you want is the other one where they actually do all of the construction and experimentation.
Okay.
I think I actually have an image for this location as well. I do.
Fucking Texaboo. Sounds like, who's a Texaboo? Worship me.
Yeah, so this is like what the kind of like cross section of the building looks like.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so you got like temple area and then just like tons and tons of like little workshops and stuff. So this is what he's basically told you, like if you need assistance with your guns or like bespoke things like created, like
Mhm.
this is the place to go because they can definitely help you out.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I like obviously it sounds like the first thing you guys are going to want to do is you're going to want to go and get yourself some good healing potions with like the 500 gold or whatever that Klim offered you. And you're going to want to have your guns seen too, obviously. But I mean, like, what's the plan after that? Are you guys going to head back to the dungeon and try to like figure out the rest of what's going on down there? Also, like, you have that journal that you lifted off of that dead necromancer there.
Yep.
I have
And a
that
signet
book.
ring.
Yeah, and a signet ring, and like you have a book that you got off of a dead necromancer, Siani.
Yeah.
So
I figured I would read it with Lucina while we were waiting for my
Maybe this is
guns.
a good time to do that now as we're all being left for a picnic or something.
you are being left to sit and wait while the maids try to rouse Ray because he went back upstairs and crawled back into his bed. And the chef is preparing all of you a nice afternoon picnic and putting it in a basket that you can take and are under no obligation to return.
Okay. I guess
Uh,
while waiting for that, it would be time to confer with Lucina about books.
Certainly.
Hunter, you there? It's about time for her to. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just in the kitchen right now.
Yeah, I
Okay.
figured. She's feeding the dogs.
No,
So,
I'm making bread actually.
Oh, she's feeding
bread.
herself.
Bready. Okay, so which book would you like to examine first? Do we want to go with the one that Siani has with the little key?
Yeah, probably Siani's.
Okay, so let me find the appropriate thing here. You have the key, so you're not trying to force the lock. So that's good. Yeah. So you open the book, and the book is her spell book, which apparently contains. It just says it contains the spells that she had prepared. Which let me go back to the right map so I can look
Well,
at
we
her
already
corpse and
we
figure out
already
what her
know
spells are.
we already know one of them.
Yeah. Contains all of the spells that she has prepared. Okay, so this book contains Chill Touch, Mage Hand, Message, Prestidigitation, Burning Hands, Detect Magic, Ray of Sickness, Shield, Darkness, Misty Step, Scorching Ray, Animate Dead, and Fireball.
Jesus. All right. So
And
which one of us is cross-classing into wizard?
because you have a ton of like useful spell books. The other
Mhm.
thing that you like when you open the book though, there are a couple of like notes or like letters that have been like carefully folded and placed in the book to keep them from being damaged or getting wet in the sewer. And those kind of like slip out as you are flipping through the pages of the journal slash spell book. And so I will show all of you this note, which you now have, or this set of notes, which you now have. So this first note here is clearly like a reference to the exploding zombie that was in the glassworks, and like this guy is asking if they've heard anything more from this person known as the Harlequin because they need more intel on something, and it references the Low Lantern, which I think you have heard about before, which is that tavern down on the docks. And then this second note is another one of those like I'll just read it out. So, know ye that these missives pass through holy hands directly from the hidden Lord, which speaks with the true voice of he who was once Lord of Avernus and Treasurer of Hell, the 10th Lord of Nine, the Lord who watches, and the Legatus of the Dark Gods. When the devils of Avernus brought down Elturel, the Grand Duke of Baldur's Gate was claimed as a prize for Hell. So too shall you claim for Zariel the souls of those who once served Elturel. You can know this to be the truth, for I hold here, at the manor of our benefactor, secure within its infernal puzzle box, the pact with Zariel, the declaration of the powerful purpose to which we set our hands. Lay to rest your doubts. Signed, TK.
TK again.
Wait, does that mean that the dude that we're working for is a minion?
No, so what this is saying, this is a thing you already know. Duke Older Ravengard, Grand Duke of Baldur's Gate, was in Elturel when it was destroyed.
Okay. And everybody
And
thinks he's just missing.
and everybody thinks he's just missing. And whoever is sending this note to the woman that you killed is saying that not only was Older Ravengard in Elturel when it was destroyed, he was there for a reason.
Interesting. We should probably tell the Duke about that.
Probably should actually.
So you got that going for you. And then, yes, you have this, like, in the meanwhile, I'm curious, have you heard more from the Harlequin yet? It was my understanding that he had received vital intelligence from Elturel that should make our work easier, but as of yet, our pace has not accelerated. Has he not yet settled in at the Low Lantern to begin his plans in full? Yada, yada, yada. So that's a whole situation going on there. So yeah, outside of the spells and these notes, there's not a whole lot to learn from that. Now, on the other side of things, the journal that you found on that dead necromancer, Vert, is much funnier.
We could all use a good laugh.
Yeah.
Jesus
So-
Christ.
Similar in nature to the journal/research notes gained from the apprehension of one Leilana Candlehollow, this book details the day-to-day life and musings of a bored noble heir by the name of Jalen Vomus. Given its private nature, it is unsurprising that the book is filled with unflattering thoughts about the young man's peers, lurid details about his sex life, and some rather detailed murder fantasies that he apparently wished he could use as revenge against others. What is perhaps more surprising is the extensive discussion of the undead and the creation thereof, details of his connection to the cult of Zariel, and his seemingly unlikely connection to the aforementioned Candlehollow heiress.
Is this the fucking guy that was in that diary, the crazy chick we found in the mortuary?
It is indeed.
Oh, holy shit, man. Fucking get my popcorn ready for this shit, man. Like,
Yes. According to the information contained within the volume, it seems as though the young man became involved with the cult of Zariel of his own accord in secret from his parents, in hopes of increasing his family's power and standing, and thus proving himself the proper heir to the family business, which as of late has principally been concerned with the importation of goods from Chult for trade, over his older brother, which the book makes abundantly clear the young man thinks is an addle-brained fool. The book goes on to detail how his direct superior Flinnis has taken an interest in his magical talents and has taken him under her wing, making him a so-called apprentice master of souls and directing him towards the creation of undead that the cult might use as shock troops should the time come for an all-out attack against elements of Baldur's Gate. This proceeds for a time detailing the process of creating so-called corpse damp zombies, which are filled with a foul-smelling, highly explosive gas harvested from the sewers and augmented to allow the creatures to spew fire. He
So
notes that they
he's-
unfortunately frequently explode when killed, but notes that
That fucker.
Flinnis yeah, but notes that Flinnis seems to see this as a feature rather than a bug. Eventually, this becomes too boring for him, however, and though the work continues, he laments in text that he doesn't have more challenging work to do. Enter Leilana Candlehollow. Through means involving society parties and copious amounts of alcohol, the two become first involved in a torrid affair, and second, and perhaps more surprisingly, a mutual partnership directed at the creation of superior undead, once the young man manages to coax this interest out of the young elf woman by way of means. From here, their research seems to bloom and grow in a number of different directions, including the use of herbs, minerals, and techniques imported from the Chultan jungle as a means to stabilize a compound the young man refers to as demonic ichor. Though he doesn't know the full extent of what can be done with it, he does indicate that he has at least isolated the combinations necessary to reliably trigger size growth, paralytic secretions, and tentacle growth in undead flesh. He seems barely able to contain his excitement about what this might mean for his future projects in the field of undead creation. It is at this point, however, that it seems Flynn ordered Jaleb to cut off ties with the Candle Hollow heiress for fear that she was growing too close to uncovering the truth of the cult of Zariel. This then begets a discussion of how best he might ghost the young elf woman, in which he ultimately settles on using another woman with whom he had been cheating on Leilana anyway, as a public display of arm candy to send his soon-to-be ex-lover into a fit of apoplectic rage that would keep her too angry to attempt to see him again, and too busy being angry to actually put the pieces of the cult together herself. This seems to have worked out well for him, because shortly after this, the journal notes that his now former Pale Elven Rose, as he often called her, has been apprehended thanks to a group of adventurers for her terrible experiments committed in the basement beneath the morgue, and will likely be sent back to a reform school in Silvery Moon, where she'll no longer be a concern to him. He muses that perhaps he should find those adventurers and thank them before he kills them, because his understanding, according to someone named Vaz, is that those very adventurers are deeply involved in rooting out the cult of Zariel's activities in the city, and this is why the young man hasn't been allowed to leave this reeking sewer base beneath the bathhouse for days.
Fuck you,
Man.
guy.
Yeah, he didn't even get a chance to
Wait.
thank us.
Is this the guy that fucking got me
Yes.
in the back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well-
the guy who shot you in the back with necromantic sneak attack lasers was Leilana
And
Candle
stabbed me
Hollow's
with a
estranged
fucking
boyfriend.
Scalpel.
Yep.
But this guy's a noble.
He is a noble.
That
So
means.
and Leilana was kind of like a petite noble, right? Like
Yeah.
her family wasn't exactly noble titled, but they were wealthy. Also, this document here, which I am not going to read out, is the useful parts of the journal. Which is to say anything like that is actually mechanical.
Okay. Well, what I'm thinking is maybe I should give this signet ring to Ray, because he might know how to do something noble with it. You know, like deceive someone into thinking that we're working for the young lord and let us into places, you know?
Yeah.
It's an idea.
So yes, you do have a completely legit signet ring of the Vamas family. So there's that. And then yeah, he has a bunch of research notes, obviously, in the second document about like herbs, and also like his observations on like what happens when you expose like people and undead to demonic ichor, and there's some weird shit in there. Which would lead one to believe that sewer base probably still has a supply of demonic ichor in it for which he was doing these experiments.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just in case Vert wants more weird science, I guess.
I do want more weird science. One day I'm going to figure out how to shoot demonic ichor.
Oh god. What a horrifying thing to say.
Slingshot, water balloon, easy.
Mhm.
Easy clap, boys.
I just want to tell Leilana our lover sucks.
Well, I mean, he's got a sucking chest wound now.
He's still kind of now rotting in sewer water, so.
It's true. But yes, so I believe at this point, as Ray, you are finally rousted from bed and sent downstairs, and you all are presented with a picnic basket filled with sandwiches and
Oh,
finger
no.
food and a whole bottle of wine.
Sorry, now I'm flashbacks, Yogi.
I know, right?
Hey, boo boo. Hey, boo boo. Let's go get us a picnic basket.
God.
Yogi was a freedom fighter, okay? You leave him alone.
Hey, boo boo. Down with capitalism. You are promptly ejected from Clem's house.
Shame, really.
And you can determine where it is you would like to go first and what you would like to address first when we rejoin the party next time.
Mm-hmm.
Good shit, man.
I actually mostly I had to go to the bathroom, but also I wanted to stay a bit quiet because I realised I've been quite mouthy today, and other people have not had a chance to speak. So.
Always fine.
It's too late now, boy.
Boy.
Game's over, boy.
Yeah, that's why I was quiet towards the end, so you guys can get your words in.
I'm just teasing you.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt. Dun 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 dun. dun.
You're a cunt. I love that fucking video.
Aye.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna
Perfect,
send you.
man.
Hold on. I'm putting this in general. I gotta find it.
So you all can get another 100 points of experience for your.
Hooray! 5,010.
For you. And then everybody can get another point on their piety score.
Yay.
And then, yeah. Next session we'll figure out, I guess, like you're gonna go shopping? Sound?
I love shopping episodes.
Maybe get your guns fixed.
Maybe.
And
Maybe get my guns upgraded. Who knows?
maybe look at the rest of that dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and then it probably wouldn't hurt you any to go back and finish out the rest of the dungeon. Though you'll have to figure out how you're going to infiltrate back into the now locked bathhouse.
Sure.
I can't wait for Ray to harass that poor Dragonborn again.
I was hoping they would walk in, man.
Maybe it'll still be
Grab him and put him in
closed.
the bath again.
Oh, like, most assuredly, they're probably still closed, because, you know, part of the place collapsed.
Mm.
But, as it is, I think that will be
That will be us.
a good place to end for this week.